In this video, I'm going to discuss Aristotle's 3 laws of basic logic, or if you prefer, Aristotle's 3 laws of basic thought. Aristotle was born in 384 BC, lived until 322 BC. He established or codified the science of logic itself. Logic is defined as the science of the formal rules of reasoning, particularly as applied to drawing valid inferences. An inference is simply a conclusion based on known or established facts. So very simply, I see that the sun is high in the sky, therefore it is the afternoon. That is a reasonable inference. Now we have a valid argument when that argument is structured so that if the premises are true, then the conclusion must also be true. For example, all human beings are mortals. Mr. M is a human being. Therefore, Mr. M is mortal. So the premises in that argument are true, and the true conclusion must necessarily follow. But more on this later. Before we can do logic, we have to first establish what the rules are for basic logic. Now, some of this is going to sound a little bit baffling to you because it's so obvious and so intuitive, it's going to seem redundant to have to go over it. But I think by the end of this, with some examples, you'll see why it's so vitally important that we understand and acknowledge these basic rules before we proceed. So there are 3 rules of basic logic or thought. Number 1 is the law of identity. X is X. A thing is the same thing as itself and different from everything else. A dog is a dog. Things are what they are, whether they're happy about that or not. Number 2 is the law of non-contradiction. No thing is both X and not X. No thing is itself and something else. Both conditions cannot be simultaneously true. Anything is itself and can never be something else at the same time. An animal is either a dog or it is not a dog but something else altogether. Both of these conditions cannot be true at the same time. I am Mr. M and not Ariana Grande. I will always be Mr. M, and it is impossible for me to ever be Ariana Grande. Number 3 is the law of the excluded middle. Everything is either X or not X. A thing is either a particular kind or it is not. There is no third alternative. A thing either exists or it does not exist. There's no third possibility. Or you might say every statement is either true or it is false. There's no third alternative there. I am either 31 years old or I am not. There's no third alternative. To deny these self-evident and intuitively knowable truths is to destroy the basis of all logical inference. So I hope that this overview gives you a good basic understanding of why it is so important that we establish, accept, and acknowledge the 3 laws of basic logic or basic thought.